Alright y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on our Halloween poster number 2. That's the skull. So you want to go ahead and open up Illustrator, go to new file. Make sure you change the units of measurement to inches first, and then you want to type in 11 inches in the width, 17 inches for height, and then the orientation should be portrait mode, not landscape. I do want you to change this to be CMYK color mode since we'll be printing these, and then you want to leave the raster effects as high. Everything else should stay the same, and then you'll hit create. Okay, so step 1 wants you to draw 5 intersecting circles as shown in the image example posted on Schoology to create the general shape of the cartoon skull vector. So since you can't see my screen, I'll post the example over here. But these are the 5 circles it wants you to do. So I'm going to grab my ellipse tool. I'm going to make sure that the fill is set to none and that the stroke could be black for now. It doesn't really matter because... Oh, why isn't it changing? One sec. I'm going to make sure that this picture is not selected. There we go. So fill, no fill. Stroke could be black for now. So this one's a perfect circle, so you want to hold down shift to make a perfect circle. Everybody's skull is going to be different, and so that's what makes this project kind of fun. Now the next one is not a perfect circle, almost an oval, so I'm just going to not click on shift for this part. And then I'm going to use my align tool to center that, see what that looks like. To me it's a little bit too long, so I'm just going to scale that down again. Grab my selection tool and adjust the positioning. Okay. Then the 3 circles for the teeth, so use something like that. Use the align tool to center it. This is kind of overlapping in the middle right here. I'm going to hold down the Alt Option key to make copies out of this one. You can also do Command C to copy and then Command V to paste. Right, let me zoom in really quick and make sure these are actually overlapping. Okay, I think they are. Right, once you have all of those circles, you want to move on to step 2, which is asking you to select all of these shapes. You should see your Pathfinder pop up in your properties panel, but if you don't, remember window menu is your best friend and you can find any panel here. You're going to hover over to click unite, and it's going to make all these shapes into one. So you should get something like this. Okay, number 3 is asking you to round the caps and corners, so let's click on the outline again. Click on the word stroke in your properties panel. And the cap that's round is this one right here, and the rounded corners is the one in the middle too. And those are the only 2 that we change. It does want you to change the stroke width to be 4 points, so let's just increase this to 4. Alright, it says we need to find the exact center of the skull shape so that it would help us place another detail of the illustration better. So let's enable the ruler by clicking Command R on our keyboards, or you can go to View, hover over Rulers, and you want to select Show Ruler. So the ruler's super tiny, it's up at the top over here. And that's just on my screen, yours might be bigger. Let me see if I can actually change those settings really quick. Okay, so buttons should look better now for the video too, but see my ruler is going to be more obvious now. Now, you want to drag what we call guides in Illustrator by clicking on this ruler over here on the left hand side. With your mouse, click and drag out a guide, so you should see like the gray line coming up. You want to try to get as close to the middle as possible, but if you can't, just let go. Guides look like this. It's a blue line, and you can actually select it Oh, it looks like it's locked. So I'm gonna right click on this guide and do unlock guides. So now I can click on it or select it like so and use the align tool to make sure it's right in the center. Once it's aligned, you can do right click, lock guides. So now it shouldn't move by accident. So that's how you can drag guides from these rulers. You can do the horizontal ones as well by clicking at the top and dragging down. And I'm gonna undo that really quick. So now we know that this is our ruler here. Okay, so it wants us to draw the eyes with the ellipse tool. So we just need to do one for now. I'm actually gonna get rid of this since you don't need this. Go to my ellipse tool. For now, I'm gonna do no fill, and the stroke should be black. However big or small or custom size you want the eyes is completely up to you. So I'll have it looking something like that, and the stroke should be 4 points. So right, grab your selection tool and adjust the positioning if you want. So it does want us to use the reflection tool, so keep the ellipse. This is my favorite way to do it here. Click on the ellipse tool and then choose the reflect tool, which is in your tools panel. I think it's right behind rotate, so right click here, click reflect tool. The letter O on your keyboard is also the keyboard shortcut. And once you have this tool selected, it wants you to hold down the Alt Option key on your keyboard and then click on this guide here once. And you'll notice that another copy pops up here. So you want to make sure it's vertical. It's giving you a preview, but instead of hitting OK, you're going to hit copy. So now it copies over perfectly using this as the guide here. This is actually a good time to do a save really quick, so let's go to File, Save As. And you're going to rename this your last name, first name, initial, underscore, Halloween 2. We're not done yet, so we want to leave this as an AI file, making sure it's going into our USB. I'm hitting Save, then OK. Right, step 6 wants you to create the nose now, so I'll copy the image over here like it's in Schoology. So we're focused on these right here. So you start off with one circle. Let me deselect the picture. I'm gonna do stroke size 4. Hold down Shift to make a perfect circle. Then I'm going to hold Alt Option and drag a copy. Oops, that was not the button. Alt Option to click and drag a copy over. If you hold down Shift at the same time as Option and Alt, it makes sure that it goes straight in a straight line across. So now I can let go of my mouse first and then the 2 keys. And this right here is a custom shape with the pen tool. So you want to grab your pen tool, start somewhere in the middle here once. And then this is the center point here. So, oops, I messed up. So here you want to click and hold down like this. And somewhere in the middle, like that. I'm going to hold my Option key, Alt Option key, and then drag this handle point back inside. Come to this point and then curve it a bit too. Oops, my fill is set to fill, so I meant no fill. Okay. I'm going to hold the Alt Option key again and then drag this anchor point back. And then I'm just going to click once over here to close it. I'm going to come and grab my anchor point tool really quick just to, oops, undo that. See where all of these are like. No, they look fine. I just wonder how this happened. Nope, I don't want to curve that. Okay, now that I have these handle points enabled with the anchor point tool, I can hold Option to make both of these kind of align here. No, I messed it up. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my direct selection tool, hold down Alt Option, here we go. Took extra steps that probably were not needed. Alright, so I'm happy with those. I'm going to use the Unite Pathfinder again to combine them. And one of the cool features too, if you notice something like this happening, you can grab your delete anchor point here, and I'm just going to delete some of these because they're not necessary. And you can still adjust some of these handle points. If it's really, really messed up, it might just be better to redo them. That's good enough for me. Alright. So now I'm going to rotate by hovering over one of the corners. If you hold down Shift, everything rotates perfectly 45 degrees. Put them upside down. I'm going to scale this down. And zoom in a bit more. And I'm going to place it somewhere along there. The Align tool. Okay. I'm going to do, let's see. I'll actually stop here for now, so I'll do another file save, and we'll get started in step 7 in the next video.